thing is coming, but what about when it's not so good right now? What about my expected place? My financial piece is on the way, but it's not here now. What you do when you got $5 to spread out over 5 days of lunch, you got to make it at work. God will make a way, because I know you see him do it. But what I am encouraging you today is, what happens when you fall down and you don't want to get up? I want to encourage your faith this morning, because you don't have to stay down. Why? Because my Bible tells me that you are above and not beneath, that you are the head and that you are not the tail. So all of these imaginations, the news, the media, they would seek to make you feel like the tail. They talk about how African American women are diseased, and you see how Ebola seems to be right next door up the I-10, and you see all of these things that would seek to crush you and kill your life. But I am here to tell you that your faith is alive if you want it to be, and you don't have to stay down when you fall. I'm not saying we're not going to fall. First of all, first disclaimer, not saying that we're not going to fall, not saying that we're not going to make mistakes, but what I am saying is you don't have to be paralyzed by the fall that you take. You don't have to stay down. Your leg is not broken. Your feet are not broken. I am here to declare over your life that your faith is alive if you want it to be. And you can get up and you can be all that God has called you to be. So don't get these imaginations that are presented before you in the media, on television, on your job. They got somebody on your job who living like a movie star, at least in their mind. They talk like they want to talk. They march around like they own the place, and you're trying to figure out, how are they doing that and getting away with it? I'm sitting over here grinding, doing my job twice as fast. How in the world is this working out? I am telling you, don't believe the imagination. I am encouraging you to be a genuine, authentic you. Don't be a copy of anybody else. God has created you an original.
That's right.
Don't try to be like anybody else. Walk in your faith that God gave you. Don't worry about these imaginations, because the Bible says to cast down every imagination and high thought. You have that power to do that. The word talks even about your faith being like a mustard seed, right? How big is a mustard seed? If you put it in the palm of your hand, you can barely see it. I got a little mole right here in my hand. I bet you a mustard seed is smaller than that. But all you need is that sized faith to speak to mountains and say, be thou removed and cast into the sea. And even if you catch a visual picture of a mountain, it's something daunting. So you don't even think about picking it up. You don't even think about driving up the side of it. We went to the Great Smoky Mountains one time, and driving up the side of that cliff is not so awesome. But when you get on the top of it and look over the view, you're like, okay, but you realize that the mountain is bigger than you. But this size faith, my Bible says you can speak to the mountain that I could barely drive up, and I could tell it, be thou cast into the sea, be thou removed and cast into the sea. So what's standing in between you and your next good place? What's standing? What mountain is standing between you and your destiny? What good mountain? What mountain is mounted before you, making you feel like you can't achieve the thing that God has told you to do?